What's up guys, it's Padre to go back with yet another YouTube video, and today I will be talking about the strongest Uchiha, Sasuke, and why he is the strongest Uchiha. Now, I've made videos similar to this one in the past on my TikTok, but I've received some solid growth on my account, so many no longer know where I stand on this topic and why I feel this way. But let's get into why Sasuke is the strongest. In reality, the only competition for this throne would be Madara, and no, I don't mean EMS Madara or One-Eyed Sage-Will Madara, I mean Ten Tails Madara. He is the only version of Madara that can even be considered near Sasuke, and saying that he's near Sasuke is a huge stretch, but let's explain why that is the case. Now, Ten Tails Madara is an extremely formidable foe. He was most certainly giving Naruto and Sasuke a run for their money after they just received their 6-pass amps. But that's the very important thing about this. They just received their new power-ups. We get statements from Sasuke after the Kaguya threat has been dealt with that due to the battles that he has just fought, he's gained a familiarity with his Rinnegan that he previously did not have. Couple this in with scans of Kurama implying that Sasuke is still a novice with the Rinnegan, so he can't do certain things with it yet, such as absorb a jutsu as he's outputting his own jutsu, and scans during the Madara fight where Sasuke literally says like he's finding out what the Rinnegan does as he's fighting. Like he goes, so that's what this eye does. I think that drives the point home pretty well. Also, might I add, this novice Rinnegan user Sasuke was cutting One-Eyed Jubidara in half. I just think it's quite hilarious, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I want to briefly discuss Naruto because proving he's over Jubidara is extremely important to the Sasuke conversation. In their fight, Naruto was obviously relative from the start, but Madara started to gain some power-ups, such as getting his second Rinnegan. After this, his Limbo clone count jumps from 1 to 4. Now, what's important about the Limbo clones is that we have a databook statement saying that these Limbo clones are equal to him in ability and in terms of power, and Naruto's Shadow clones, yes, you heard that right, Shadow clones, were able to show some relativity to these Limbo clones. This is further proof showing the massive growth Naruto and Sasuke were getting the more they fought and the more they got used to their abilities. After this comes Kaguya. You guys know how I love Kaguya. But now that she emerges, Sasuke is, well, in disbelief. He states her chakra is far greater than Madara's. Now, at first glance, people would say, oh, just because she has more chakra doesn't necessarily mean that she's more powerful. But that's not exactly what Sasuke is referring to here. Sasuke is actually referring to the quality of Kaguya's chakra. And this makes sense due to her Otsutsuki lineage, and other Otsutsukis such as Tonari have been described by their distinct chakra. Another statement that adds on to the fact that she's more powerful is Sasuke being in disbelief that she even exists. He says, like, I can't believe that somebody like her even existed. Like, he's absolutely shocked and he's kind of shitting bricks. Well, at least it appears that way. And I mean, she was kind of slamming Naruto and Sasuke too, and there weren't in any situations in the Jubidara fight where they were on their toes despite the infinite Tsukiyomi. That was really the only point where they were kind of screwed, but they obviously figured a way out of that. Now that we've gone over the fact that Kaguya is above Madara, we can go over this statement from the novels. I've used this one a bunch, and honestly, I think it's a great way to prove exactly how strong Sasuke becomes after the war. He is talking about a threat appearing one day that surpasses Kaguya, or that it's something that could even threaten Kaguya, and he states that he would protect it himself, or the narrator kind of does for us, but like that's neither here nor there. Since Sasuke has fought Kaguya prior and properly gauged her power, he's definitely one of the most reliable sources when it comes to her power and exactly how powerful she is. The fact that in this novel he states he would protect everything by himself against something that would potentially threaten her really speaks volumes to me about how powerful he has become. Now, if I wanted to, I could end this here because this really does get Sasuke past Jubidara by a pretty sizable margin, but you guys know that I like to be thorough in case there's any Jubidara stands out there. So let's get on with it. So time to discuss everybody's favorite Otsutsuki, including my own, Momoshiki. Now, there are many implications from the manga, novels, and anime that Momoshiki surpasses Kaguya. At this point, attempting to refute them is just due to bias, because how well documented it is and easy to prove. I don't understand how people could still make these like rebuttals, I guess, or like these debunks to Momoshiki, but that's neither here nor there, like I said previously. On top of this already impressive display, he's able to show some relativity to Jigen, who is far above Fused Momoshiki, and I'm going to go through why that is. So as I mentioned, in the Fused Momoshiki fight, he actually teleports before going there, obviously. He brings all of the 5 Kage, and he also brings Boruto. Well, the 5 Kage, not including Naruto, of course. So now, Sasuke actually has a statement in there where he says that that this is the limited amount of number that he can bring with him. So that's kind of implying, at least to me, that this is more of a hindrance than it normally is. And the fact that he was able to show relativity to Fused Momoshiki while having that extra hindrance means that he's probably above Fused Momoshiki. Now, when he teleports to go assist Naruto in the Jigen fight, he actually only teleports once, a maximum of 2 times, actually, if you really want to think about it. But he's able to show some relativity to Jigen, but at the end of the day, he still gets slapped. So he was actually less nerfed versus Jigen, and Naruto wasn't really nerfed at all, and Jigen was still kind of slapping them. So this means that Jigen is far above Fused Momoshiki, and it's not even close. And again, Sasuke, while being nerfed, was able to show some relativity to this Jigen. Now, going further, you can even say that he is like a low-end relative when it comes to Ishiki, because he was able to react to him and he was able to defend himself, but Ishiki just overpowered him because he's way too strong and he's way too fast. Now, you can argue that this is an outlier, but obviously there's ways to argue against that. But if you don't really want to say that he's relative to Ishiki, being relative to Jigen is plenty to get him far past Jubidara. Honestly, at this point, it isn't even close. It never was close, and I never planned on it being close to begin with because, well, it just isn't. Now that we've gone over all of that stuff, I think it's all right that we declare Sasuke his throne of the strongest Uchiha of all time. It isn't close, but thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you guys want to see in the future, maybe some topics you want me to discuss or anything like that. If you guys loved it, it would be awesome if you hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But have a great day, and I hope to see you next time.